Recording in progress.
So, good morning everyone. It's Jamie from Island Yoga UK here with a 45-minute Hatha Yoga practice. So, if you'd like to find your comfortable upright seated position, and we can begin with just some connection with the breath. So, just relaxing the shoulders, gently closing the eyes if they're not already closed. And watch your breath as it flows. Don't try to change the breath in any way. Just be the observer. Feel your body's reaction to each and every breath you take. And now let's extend the breath, breathing longer, slower and deeper. So as you inhale, allow the abdomen to expand fully like a balloon. And as you exhale, at the end of the exhale, just draw the abdomen in so that we're squeezing all of the air from the lungs. And just continue with this new way of breathing. Abdomen expanding as we inhale through the nose and contracting as we exhale. And now let's bring our palms together at heart center, and we can say one long Om together to start the class. So inhale deeply. Release the hands behind your back, and then as you exhale, bend forward from the waist and surrender to Mother Earth. Inhaling, coming back up. Release the hands, and with a few gentle blinks, open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's take our cat-cow position as always. Just start to wake the spine up, move the physical body. So keeping those long, slow breaths, you can breathe at your own rhythm or follow me. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And let's begin with a long, slow inhale, raising the chin, the chest, and the tailbone, flexing the spine, looking up. Exhaling, pushing away, and dropping the chin to the chest. Inhaling, first flexing the spine one way, and then exhaling, flexing the spine the other way, stretching up towards the ceiling with the middle of the back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Releasing the back to a neutral position and bringing the knees very slightly closer in together. We're going to do the same cat-cow movements, the same spinal movements, but this time involve the legs. Straight legs this time, working on the right leg first. We're going to raise the straight right leg up in time with the inhale. So let's do that now. Inhaling and raising the right leg up as well, toes pointed, curving the spine, and then exhaling, bringing the knee all the way to the opposite elbow this time as we round the back. Inhaling, same leg, stretching up and back. Exhaling, bringing the knee to the right elbow now. Inhale, keeping the movements in time with the breath. Exhaling to the left elbow with the knee. Inhale. Exhale, rounding the back and bringing the knee to the right elbow. Exhaling and just releasing that right knee down to the mat. Let's go on with the left leg. So inhaling now, stretching the left toes back and up. Exhaling, knee to the right elbow, rounding the back. Inhale. Exhale, knee coming to the left elbow now. Inhale. To the right. Inhale. Exhale to the left. And releasing down onto the mat. I'm not sure whether I did the full amount on either side, but that's where we are today. So just widen the knees, sinking the buttocks back onto the heels, and find our resting warrior. So let's stretch forward with the arms. A nice active stretch here, lengthening the spine, allowing the breath to go long and deep. With each inhale, we're just finding space there. And with each exhale, we're moving into that space with the breath. Stretching the spine, creating some extra space between the vertebrae. And then we're slowly going to come up, lay the body down onto the mat. And then as we inhale, we're going to push up into an up dog. Just mindful, working within your comfortable limit. In any of these simple poses, you can close your eyes gently if you want to sink deeper into your practice, moving inward. And the next exhale, we're going to tuck the toes and push back into down dog. And once you've found that lovely straight back with the arms really extended, then you can begin to pedal the legs. So straightening one leg and then straightening the other leg. Just easing the hamstrings in today, waking them up gradually. And just taking a couple more long breaths here for your down dog. Very soon we're going to be kicking the left foot all the way forward and over to the right side. So the left foot's going to go shooting between the right foot and the right hand. So let's do that now as we inhale. The left foot comes forward as far forward as you can, and then you're turning onto the side, supporting your weight on the left hand, reaching up with the right. Keep that left elbow a little bit soft so that the elbow's not locked. Keeping the hips high and the breath long. Just another couple of breaths here. Feel your body's reaction. And then slowly releasing that right hand, coming back to down dog, just briefly. Finding our familiar stability. Keeping that long, slow breath, preparing to kick that left foot forward now and over to the right foot forward now and over to the left side. Let's do that now. Kicking the right foot forward, over to the left side, turning, reaching up with the left hand this time, keeping the hips high. Just one more long breath here. As we then release the arm and push back for the last time in this sequence to down dog. And we can either walk the feet towards the hands now or do a nice little jump forward. Whatever we decide, let's go and do that now. And when we arrive at the front of the mat, let's keep the knees soft. Throw the arms forward, creating that lovely straight back. And then we're going to inhale and come up with a straight back. And release the hands. Well done. We're standing at the front of the mat. Keep the feet about hip width apart, grounding down evenly into both feet. In all four directions, let's find our equilibrium. Bend the knees very slightly, tilting the pelvis forward, activating the thighs and standing tall, lifting up with the spine. Inhaling, raising the arms to the front and all the way up towards the heavens. Palms parallel and facing each other, again about a hip width apart. We're grounding down and reaching up. No tension in the neck. If you are feeling any tension, just tiny little movement with the neck either to the right or to the left. Just looking to the right and then to the left. Coming back to the center. Reaching up even more now for the last long breath here. And now let's sink the hips back into Utkatasana, the chair pose. Slightly leaning forward. The back is still straight. And you can either look straight forward or you can gaze up towards the hands. Keep your breath, as always, going nice and long and slow. And just focus on the breath and the body's reactions. Last long breath here. And then slowly releasing the arms, coming back up to standing. Well done. And this deep bend of the knees that we just created in Utkatasana, we're going to hold on to that for our eagle pose, Garudasana. So let's bend the knees deeply. And then we're going to cross the right leg over the left as high as you can on the thigh. And then if you're coming into eagle arms, left arm over the right, crossing at the elbow. And lifting the elbows up and away from the body. Wrists should be round about eye level. Feeling that wonderful stretch going across the upper back. Good work on the hips and the legs too. Just a few breaths. And then slowly unwind the arms and the legs too. And if you need to just kick out the ankles or have a little hip rotation, whatever you need to do in between these postures, then please go ahead and do that. And now let's prepare to do the eagle pose on the other leg. So just go ahead and do that now with the other leg. Crossing the left leg this time over the right. Arms right over the left. And just a few long breaths here. Slowly releasing the arms again and releasing the legs. And again, just shaking the feet, moving the hips so that we're ready to stand on the long edge of the mat now. So a nice long stance, and we're going to move into warrior two. Nice and wide. Doesn't really matter what side you're starting with. We're just going to stay working with this side just for a few breaths. So I'm sure this pose is very familiar to you all. So just use this opportunity to go deeper in with the breath. Being in the present moment with your body. And then whichever knee you have bent, that hand on that side is going to come down towards the floor, or you can rest the forearm on the knee And then the other arm is going to scoop forward and then open up. We're coming into Parsva Konasana, so side angle pose here. And the outstretched arm is creating a lovely straight line all the way down to the ankle. Stack the shoulders one on top of the other, opening the chest. And now slowly releasing, coming back up to the center, bringing the feet parallel. Hands on your hips, keep the knees soft, and we're going to take a nice forward bend with the wide legs. Leading with the chin and chest, let's come down. You can release the hands down towards the ankles. Softening the upper body, just allowing gravity to pull the head down towards the feet, towards the mat. Let's put the hands back on the hips as we exhale and come back up with a nice straight back. And then prepare for warrior two on the other side. So whichever side you went to before, let's go the other way. Bending that other knee, coming into a really nice wide stance, working towards a 90-degree bend in that knee. It's a really wide. Good work going on in the hips as we open it. And now let's drop that arm down and come into Parsva Konasana on the other side. Fingertip touching the mat if you want, or the flat of the hand, or indeed the forearm onto the knee. Just try not to support too much weight going down there on the floor or on the knee. Most of the weight is held with the core. And then slowly releasing the arm, pushing back up, feet parallel, and we're going to take feet back into locking the back and pulling the hands away from the shoulders. So as we come forward, the arms are behind us and they come all the way over, stretching well into the shoulders. Inhaling, coming back up again with a straight back. Bringing the legs together now. And then we're going to move down just so the mat now on our bellies. And this same hand movement that we had before, interlocking the fingers behind our back. Let's do that again and move into a cobra variation, Bujangasana variation. So let's pull the hands away from the body, And lift them away from the buttocks as we inhale and raise the chin and chest briefly off the mat. Keeping the legs active, we're just holding for a couple of breaths here. And then slowly releasing the arms. Let's push back into child's pose as a counter, just releasing any tension that may have been built up in the lower back as we rest the chest down onto the knees and relax the head. Slowly coming up and then laying down on the mat once more. This time we're going to extend both arms in front of us. So stretching the palms forward, stretching the fingers forward and stretching the toes backwards. We're creating a really long, straight spine and a long, straight body. And then from here, we're going to raise the right arm and the left leg, trying to keep them straight as we can. Let's do that now. So inhaling, right arm goes up, left leg goes up, and you can even bring the chin and chest just a little bit off the mat too. Keep the left hand and the right foot pressing down into the mat. This is a variation of the locust pose, Salabasana. Great for any sciatic nerve problem. Just one more long breath here. And releasing the arm and leg. Let's change arm and leg now. So we're raising the left hand and the right foot. And just keep the breathing going long and slow. And releasing down now. Let's place the hands under the hips. So palms facing up, right hand under the right hip, left hand under the left hip. And we're just going to do the more traditional version of the locust pose. So we're going to raise both legs together now. Stretching the feet back towards the back of the room. It's not really important how far you lift the feet off the ground, but that they're really stretched back. Just for a few breaths. And then slowly releasing both legs down onto the mat. Let's push back into Bujangasana again, child's pose. Softening, releasing, seeing. And then slowly we're going to come back up once more. And now let's spin the legs around so that the legs are in front of us and we can lay back on the mat now. We're coming towards the end of our class. Just a couple more things to do now. So once we're lying down on the mat, let's bring the knees into the chest and give them a hug. This is another opportunity just to flatten the back. This little rock from side to side, from the right to the left. Pressing the lower back into the mat, releasing any tension that may be built up there. And then releasing the hands and releasing the legs. Let's point the toes and point the legs. Stretch the hands down towards the feet as well. We're lying on our back. And push the hands into the mat, activating the arms. Pointing the toes. Bring our attention to the core. And squeeze the core as we raise the right leg all the way up, toes pointing towards the heavens. And just stay here for a few breaths. We're trying to keep the right leg as straight as we can. And now place your left hand on top of your left hip. Use that left hand as a guide to try to make sure that that left hip doesn't come off the mat. Because now we're going to allow that right leg to come all the way over to the right side. You may need to use the right hand just to support the leg near the thigh as that right leg comes over, or even allow the hand to stretch down to the right calf. The right leg is all the way over to the right side now, opening the hip, and we're trying to keep that left hip on the mat. Well done. And now let's move that right leg back up all the way to the ceiling and then releasing slowly down onto the mat. Well done. Pointing the toes again, pushing both hands into the mat. And with an inhale, let's raise the left leg up now, toes towards the ceiling. Just keep the breath going long and slow. Observe the body's reaction. Perhaps noticing if one side is different to the other. Just try to keep engaged and active just for the last couple of minutes. Now let's place the right hand on top of the right hip and allow the left leg to come over to the left side now. As always, a nice long, slow breath. And then inhaling, let's bring that left leg back up towards the ceiling. Hands pushing down onto the mat, and let's release both legs now down onto the mat. Well done. Bend the knees into the chest once more, pushing the lower back against the mat. Pressing the hands down onto the mat and extending both feet towards the ceiling now. Perhaps you can engage the core even more now as you reach both feet up towards the ceiling, really pushing into the core. And now allowing both feet to come out, right to the right, left to the left, as we come into the splits. Allowing that work, that deep work on the hips. And then with the next inhale, let's move the feet back up together, pointing towards the ceiling. And now bending the knees and hugging the knees into the chest for the last time now. We're going to do a little spinal twist before our Savasana, so you can do a little bit of rocking from side to side first of all. We're going to try and keep those knees as tight as we can into the chest and keeping the heels in towards the buttocks. Let's move the arms out of the way so that we can roll all the way over onto our right side. So we're bringing the knees down onto the right side, lifting the left arm up towards the ceiling and stretching it all the way over to the left side. So opening the chest, feeling that lovely twist on the spine as we turn the neck to look towards the left hand as well. We can release the left arm, bring the knees back through the center. Again, keeping them tight into the body and allowing them to come over to the left side now. Stretching the right arm up and all the way over to the right side, looking over the right shoulder. And feeling that spinal twist. Let's release the right arm now. Bring the knees back to the center. One little rock side to side, one final little hug. We're beginning to already mentally release and relax, ready for our Savasana. So now let's release the legs. If we're not already with our eyes closed, let's close our eyes and allow all of the physical body just to rest and relax. The ankles flop open, the hands are away from the body with the palms facing the ceiling if you can. You can lengthen the back of the neck slightly, allowing the breath to find its own natural rhythm. Releasing and relaxing the feet and the legs hips and the pelvis. Relax the buttocks. And the lower back is also soft and relaxed now. With each exhale, you just allow the body to relax deeper, letting go. Now bringing your attention to the hands and the fingers, the wrists, the arms, softening, relaxing and releasing all the way up into the shoulders. Now bringing our attention to the jaw. We store lots of tension in the jaw, so just let that go now, softening the jaw, allowing the tongue to feel heavy in the mouth, and relaxing all the small muscles around the cheeks and the jaw. Relaxing also those small muscles around the temples and the forehead, and between the eyebrows. Letting go and feeling all of the muscles in the face go soft, limp. And with each exhale, we just allow ourselves to slide deeper into this complete physical rest. The whole of the back side of the body rests heavily on the mat. So now slowly we're going to wake the physical body up, perhaps with some small movements of the fingers or the toes. Perhaps you want to take a deeper breath in and raising the right arm up and all the way back behind you. Bending the left knee then helps us to turn on to our right side, where we're going to take 1 or 2 breaths. Before pushing up to an upright seated position once more, where we'll finish the class. So with arms together at heart center in that Manjali Mudra, and say one long Om together to finish the class. So inhaling. Rubbing the palms together briefly and placing them over your eyes. very gently massage around the eye sockets, around the temples and the forehead. And then release the hands and gently open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you so much. It's lovely to see you here in the mornings. Beautiful practice with you guys. And I hope to see you again very soon.